Life shouldn't be hard. Life should be a fun-filled adventure every day. So now start joining up dots. Tap into your talents, your skills, your God-given gifts, and tell your boss, you don't deserve me. I'm out of here. It's time for you to smash that alarm clock and start getting the dream business and life you, well, of course, are dreaming of. Let's join your host, David Ralph, from the back of his garden in the UK, or wherever he might be today, with another jammed-packed episode of the #1 hit podcast, Join Up Dots.
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Welcome to Join Up Dots. I can't even say it. Join Up Dots. Been doing it for 10 years. Still can't even say the name. How the hell are you? Are you good? Are you rocking and rolling? Are you just enjoying life? Or are you floating around just, whatever you're doing, then it's the life that you should be getting. And just enjoy it. Make the most of it. Now, one of the things that we try to do on Join Up Dots is to get you thinking a different way. And as you will know, if you come across, sometimes we get you thinking sort of mentally and the health and the physical, sometimes even spiritual way of operating. And other times we talk more about business. And what we try and do now and again is to throw out some ideas, like we did recently with the online teaching English to people. Just ideas that you might not have thought about or might not even have heard about. And then you can listen to it and be, okay, that's quite interesting. Hopefully it's interesting. And then sort of delve into it a little bit more. Well, today I'm going to be talking to something rent to rent. Now, I hadn't heard of rent to rent until recently. And basically what it is, if you imagine the whole realm of real estate investing, where people are buying houses and they're buying land and they're buying, whatever to try and make a bit of money. Various strategies emerge within what you normally expect to capitalize on the market opportunities and maximize returns. Now, one such strategy that I've found about, and it's gaining popularity, particularly among entrepreneurial-minded individuals, is the rent-to-rent scheme. Now, what this means is basically it involves renting a property from a landlord who was already renting it out to somebody with the intention of then subletting it for a profit. So while potentially lucrative, navigating the sort of nuances of the rent-to-rent requires careful consideration. But effectively what you would do is say to the landlord, you want this rent, we're going to give you this rent, and then try to make a bit of extra profit from yourself. You don't ever own the property. You are just renting it out from him to then sublet it to somebody else. Now, rent to rent, if you're Googling it, look for R to R, okay? And it's basically, as I say, when an individual or a company leases a property from a landlord with the intent to sublet it to tenants for a higher rent, thereby generating a profit margin between the rent paid to the landlord and the rent collected from the subtenants. And you can do this on multiple properties, but there's a sort of process that you need to go through. And we've knocked it down into 7 key steps. And once again, if you're interested in this, then go over and Google, and I'm sure there's people teaching this and going into it in more detail than we do. But the very first thing that you need to do is stage 1 is identifying the opportunities. The first step is finding suitable properties for the strategy to work for you. Now, if you're going to be an investor, then you typically look for properties in high demand areas with potential for rental yield growth. So you want to get a property, and then as the area becomes more sought after, you will have negotiated your rent to the landlord and then be able to put it up to future people renting it from you. Okay, so we look for properties in high demand areas, and then we look at location, property condition, market trends, and then we make our selection. So off the top of my head, in London, there's places in Canary Wharf. There's places that they are sort of really shambolic, but they're sort of doing it up. Last time I was in Harlem in New York, it was really up and coming. It was a place that you thought, well, I only remember bad times when that was mentioned, but now I went through there and I thought, oh, this is quite a lovely place to be living in. So they're finding areas and they're investing in it, and that's what you need to do. So you've done that, you found your properties or the locations, and then you negotiate with the landlords. And once the property is identified, the investor, i.e. you, will pitch the rent-to-rent proposition, emphasizing benefits such as guaranteed rental income. So you're the one that's going to be doing all the work. They're just guaranteed the income coming to them. Maintenance responsibilities, and the sort of removal of vacancy risks for the landlord. Now, successful negotiations will result in a mutual beneficial agreement outlining the terms and conditions of the lease. So you both go, yeah, okay, this works. So you shake hands on it. You get your legal considerations down, which is stage 3. So it's imperative to consider the legal implications and ensure compliance with local tenancy laws, regulation and licensing requirements. You might have to seek legal counsel or professional advice, but it will help mitigate risks and ensure that everything goes smoothly. Okay, so first time, identify the opportunity, then find the landlord who's renting it out and negotiate with them, and then get a contract signed. Once you've done that, it's about property refurbishment and furnishing. So after securing the lease, the property may require a bit of tarting up, and you get refurbishment and new sofas and different things to enhance its appeal and rental value. So you do a bit of a DIY job on it, which means then that somebody comes along and they're willing to pay more on a monthly basis. And investors often invest in cosmetic upgrades and essential amenities to attract potential tenants and maximize the rental income. So you do a little bit of work, you make it look a lot nicer than it was before, and then that's where your profit margin comes in. Okay? Now, there's only 3 more steps, and they're not that hard. With the property ready for occupancy, the focus now shifts to marketing and tenant acquisition, leveraging digital platforms, Facebook, social media, local network. Investors advertise the property to attract the tenants. And when you screen them, you make sure that they're the suitable ones for you, and they will mitigate potential risks associated with non-payment or property damage. So you do your background checks on them, you make sure that they're good for the money, and then you manage them. You manage the tenancies, and once the tenants are secured, which is stage 6, effective property management becomes paramount. Investors assume responsibilities such as rent collection, maintenance, repairs, tenant communication. With anything that is, an income yielding process, there's always some kind of hassle involved in it. I know so many people just think, I just want something easy, I don't want all this. If you're getting into entrepreneurship, you've always got to deal with hassles, and managing tenants shouldn't be that hard if you've done the right things in the front end. You made sure that they're the right people for you, that they're good for the money, they've got a good track record and stuff. So establishing the clear communication channels and fostering positive landlord-tenant relationships are essential. Okay, you treat them well and they should treat you well, and then after that you monitor and you adjust the strategies, continually monitoring the performance and the market dynamics allows you to then move the price up later or get another property. Analyzing key performance indicators such as occupancy rates, rental income and expenses enables decision making and potential adjustments. So you never own the property, but you're finding a property in a key location. You negotiate with a landlord, you take it over, pay him the agreed rent, and then you look forward to getting people in there and you become the landlord of his property. Okay? Now, basically, in conclusion, it represents a real innovative, I suppose, approach to property investment. It offers opportunities for passive income generation quickly. You're not going to be spending an awful lot of money getting huge loans and stuff. All you're doing is promising on a monthly basis that you're going to be paying the landlord his money. And by understanding the sort of intricacies of the process and the navigating the legal parts of it, you can just add more and more properties until you have replaced your own income, and this is your business. You've become a rent-to-rent landlord. So it's a real sort of good way of things. You basically spot opportunities. You then start talking deals. You then dot the legal I's and T's and stuff, and then you go in and spruce things up before you find the renters. And bottom line is keep things running smoothly and watch your bottom line, okay? So it's a real smart way to make money in real estate. But, of course, as I say, it's not without its challenges. But by understanding the process, staying on top of things, and treating everyone with respect, you can turn it into a successful venture. And it's all about finding the right balance between making money and doing things the right way. But I think that's a good idea for somebody out there who's, a grown-up, who's an adult, who accepts that there's going to be ups and downs. It might be something that you might want to look into. And so you can go over and you can Google rent to rent or R2R, and it might be a new way of somebody changing their life and finding income in a way that suits them, suits their family, and is beneficial for all parties involved. Just another idea. Until next time, I will see you again with some more episodes of Join Up Dots. We'll see ya. Cheers. Bye-bye.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life. It's the only life you've got. We'll be back again real soon. Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots. Join up Dots.